Well, quite many faces here. Thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure for me to be here. It's a pleasure to me for basically representing the Hungarian Testing Board today and have a few slides on basically how we see from the Hungarian Testing Board testing to resonate with Tariq, what we see is coming and what do we see, what's going to be our part of it. So I said I'm going to guide you through the evolution of testing through the last couple of decades. There's a lot of things that happened in the, let's say, 40, 50 years even. And then we also see that a lot of things which is coming ahead of us. What we see basically is there are many different approaches, or have been many different approaches in how we deal with testing, how we see testing, how we see it as a profession. Is it just a task that someone needs to do? Is it a profession? How we organize it? What kind of tools we use it, approaches, and so on. And this is continued to be evolving, right? So this never stops. It continues. And what we now heard from Tariq is that AI, machine learning, it appears, I mean, myself, in my day-to-day job, it's still the future for us. Apparently, for some others, it's reality today. And what's coming after that, like completely autonomous systems that test themselves on the vast, right? So every single application, that's probably the future. But what comes after that, that's still, we don't know. We have no clue. But there he comes basically talking to each other and learning from each other and attending conferences like this where we can actually get some knowledge about these things. Just one thing that I wanted to also share with you, it's a lot of information on this slide. I want to share just one experience recently. About 10 days ago, so a little bit more than a week ago, I was in India, Bangalore, and ICQB handed over the International Software Testing Excellence Award to Mr. Richard Bender. And Mr. Bender said one thing that resonates with me, and I wanted to share with you. He says that the single biggest change in, let's say, humankind in the last 50 years is the possible impact of software defects on us. Because today, we have software everywhere, running everywhere. 50 years ago, an average human being would barely got any interaction with software. Today, if I go to the washroom and I want to wash my hands, there's a piece of software that delivers the soap into my hand. And that's crazy. So, who knows this picture? Or what's going on? Okay, hands up if you know, if you think you know what's going on. Okay, just a few hands, okay. So what actually is going on is a tester trying to convince his management that he wants to run some extra tests. He believes he found a defect, and he wants to prove it. But management says that, well, why should we test something that's already been signed off? I mean, don't bother me with this, right? But tester keeps going, right? He has the reasons to believe that we have some major difficulty or issues around our platform architecture. So, you know, we just can't go live. We just can't scale with this. And what we typically have said is the reality, right? So what we typically get an answer is, look, we don't have time for this. We have a project schedule that is fixed. We have budget which is fixed. And we have limited resources. And so, you know, and then we come back to my previous slide that, yeah, it's very nice that we have all this technology, but unfortunately, still today, we have these conversations. I have these conversations with my management, within the company I work with, and I hear this from others as well. So it's kind of contradicting, right? So we say AI and machine learning and how cool it is, and there's an ongoing revolution in testing. And I can actually tell you that I work with people who are like super good in engineering. They are just as good. They are testers. They consider themselves as testers, but they are just as good in development, and they are just like excelling in what they're doing. Still be having these conversations. Sometimes, unfortunately. So, and in the meantime as well, we have software, as I mentioned, everywhere now. In any kind of device, in artificial organs that for a diabetes person delivers insulin automatically, and all these things. And all these things needs to be tested. And also for all these products, and now I'm saying product, it's no longer a piece of software, it's products. Everything gonna have a piece of software inside. And then they're gonna use different technologies to also deliver these products. And all of this needs to be tested. Otherwise, as Mr. Bender said, we are exposed to all these failures from all these products in our day-to-day life. So that has to be tested. So something has to change. And that's something requires also different mindset in people. So I want to have also a quote, Dr. Tamás Vekerdi, who recently passed away, unfortunately. He said that in the next decade, the most important skills in the employment market will be creativity and critical thinking. So who else would be the best to test, to make sure that these products have the necessary quality levels, if not us testers today? We have these skills already. We just need to evolve and be better in these. So this is where I think the Hungarian Testing Board comes, or could come into a picture. This is why we think our mission statement, basically, in Hungarian Testing Board is that we want to enable the testers to give them platforms that they can share their ideas, they can learn from each other, and they can be better testers, and they can ultimately reach that super tester title. And now, so Hungarian Testing Board, so who we are, right? We are just a bunch of people from different companies, having different roles, but we are all passionate about testing. We are all passionate about quality. So we're the ones, as Tariq mentioned, who even each other or others, we inspire with quality. We kind of infect each others with the thinking of thinking more about quality, putting quality more in the leading position whenever we are facing challenges in our work. And we're also trying to pass this on to others, to basically all of you, for example, by having this conference. And this is our basically key in the Hungarian Testing Board. So we have people who are passionate about quality, who are dedicated, that we want to change. We want to give people more knowledge around how they can become better testers, where they can find information around testing, how they can do better in their jobs, and how they can also pass this passion of quality on testing through their management to avoid conversation around whether the earth is flat or round, whether do we need testing or not. And obviously we have the vision that I just presented, that everything will require testing. Everything will require a piece of software that needs to be quality assured, that we think we are the best to man up and basically to face this challenge of the next decades, let's say. And we didn't talk to Tariq, right? But my next slide is exactly this visionary future that, let's say in 10 years, right, someone trying to apply for a job in an IT department, he wants to become a developer because he thinks that's the easiest, or she thinks that's the easiest way to get into an IT department. And after a couple of years, by making very good impression of her management, she might be able to get into a testing job. Because honestly, testing becomes sexy nowadays, right? With AI, with machine learning, all these tool sets, it's actually much better than sticking with COBOL development and batch jobs for the next 20 years. So, and in Hungarian Testing Board, this is what we're trying to build into people, and this is what we're trying to embed in people, that they believe also in this. And we want to work with you also, guys, to work out a better future for all of us. And I guess if I look around, there are a few guys from the Hungarian Testing Board. If you have any questions at any time, we have the booth. Just come to us, and we're happy to continue the discussion.